Welcome to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman, the podcast that deals with the early life of J.R. Hendrick. And now beginning part 2 of Jim's triumph, Jimmy and J.R. December 22nd, 1994, 1 p.m. At the Fort Worth Times, Walt discovers a name that he got from the moonshine cellar of the ranch. Outgoing Ridgewood Sheriff Newt Daly. He was a Democratic sheriff who angered Jim and Betsy and Jeremy Swain over J.R.'s education. Daly was defeated by Steve Parleyshire, a hand-picked Republican nominee by Jeremy Swain and the Dixie Mafia. 2 p.m. Very happily singing some Christian music when my cell phone rings. It's Dr. Harmon. "You're still going to D.C.? Harmon asked. "Yeah, be down there January 3rd. Now you declare independence from that egomaniac father of yours. If you want to have Charlie Nation as your roommate, that's your damn business, not his. That's the only way I can get back at him, Dr. Harmon. I know it's right." 5 p.m. Just before dinner, Jim gets a call saying that Elizabeth Marie went dating her political theory professor back in Houston. Something which irked him very much. You know, that just reminds me of that damn Judge William Clark. Always quick to reminding people their responsibilities, Jim said. Speaking of which, JR, why don't you tell Mom and Dad why you want to room with Charlie Nation? Christine said. "Very nice, Christine. When I thought you were on my side," JR said. 6 p.m. In San Antonio, Charlie comes in to talk to his grandfather in that mansion office. "Listen here, Papa. J.R. Hendrick and I are going to be roommates. And there's not anything his father can do about it. He's very angry, no doubt. I'm probably going to get a call when he goes to the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix in January. And I'm going to be there and help get him out of there." The man with light brown hair, with horn-rimmed spectacles, sat up and looked at Charlie. "Go do it." 2:55 a.m. In the living room, this is the 23rd. In the living room, Jim is watching a bit of a Christmas special edition of the Society page interviewing Hunter von Leer in his hometown of Terre Haute, Indiana. In disgust, Jim switches off the TV. 3:50 a.m. Jim sees Claude make it down the stairs and head toward the kitchen. I don't know how much longer I can let Miss Becky tell me what to do, Claude says. It wasn't very long ago that you just dated her for 3 months and decided you was done. I don't know what makes you fall back in love with her. What the hell possessed you? I just wish I knew one thing. I'm glad about was that Betsy was home to go shopping with her. We ain't had much chance to talk in a while, Jim said. I know, I'm sorry. Look, trust me, next spring, I'm going to do what I can to come see you and make things all right between me and you. All right? "4 a.m. And so there it was in the kitchen that Jim told Claude that he met yesterday morning with Laura Abbott and Ann Coltrane. You sure do know how to pick your people, Claude said. Who do you think I learned from? I learned from my father-in-law back in the early 80s. He told me I had to pick people filled with integrity. When I signed to contract with ANC Records, that came out in 84, he told me to make sure the other signatures were on first, and that there was a handshake, otherwise no deal. I have one question. Why the hell is John Dustin in this area? There was a long pause when Jim thuds down his Bible on the kitchen table. Kyle is not mine. Betsy wouldn't change his name, even though I agreed to adopt the boy. Thing is, I know this is hurting JR and Christine beyond belief. And I don't know how much longer I can allow it to continue. Kevin always wondered why 3 years ago, for the longest time, he acted so for only one reason, to get drunk around you, get JR drunk. What the hell? You listen to me, Claude. I only tolerate him because of my woman and Kyle. He's my son, whether the papers say so or not. 7 a.m. Breakfast was waffles, boiled eggs, and sausage. Today would be a day of relaxing. 8 a.m. In Fort Worth, Brent prepares to write a winning article about the Hendrick family. 9 a.m. In Gainesville, Walt Lipscomb tells JR and Jim about their colorful ally, meaning Brent. JR was happy. Jim was not. 7 p.m. Betsy is having lunch at Wild Wings in Denton, Texas with John Dustin. Let's not pretend that we can't fall in love with one another again, John said. I like you, John. I especially appreciate the way you took Kyle back all those times recently. Look, I'm going to let you in the house for Christmas. But don't dally, pretending that we can fall in love again. Life has complicated things between me and you both, Betsy said. I just want to know where you stand. I believed all the guys. Of all the guys, you said I stood out. Yes, you have. You have this wonderful, sweet, bad boy's image about you. But my daddy said he could never approve me getting married to you. 1:15 p.m. in Fort Worth. Frank Sloan approves Brent's story would be part of the evening edition of the Fort Worth Times, which is a twice daily publication. With that, Brent hops into his car and drives to Waxahachie. And going down the stairs, Brent ran into former Ridgewood Sheriff Daley, elected and unelected through the help of Jeremy Swain. Daley remarked about some of the gifts that Jim had given him for Christmas, and sometimes the harsh words they exchanged. Daley died November 17th, 1995, the day before Elizabeth Swain. 2 p.m. In the Gainesville Mansion library, I pick up the phone. I make a call to Karen, only to hear this voicemail. This is Karen. I'm out vacationing in Waco. Brad, JR, and Jim Bob, please don't try to call me. I will be back home in Lubbock, January. Hanging up, I go downstairs for a Pepsi. 3 p.m. Jim receives a VHS tape in the mail, and he and Christine round up the rest of the family to go to the basement theater to watch the Christmas edition of the American Christian Republic with Walt Lipscomb. Walt was also there to listen to the edition. Not just Jim was being interviewed, but Dick Armey and Tom DeLay. 7 p.m. Betsy and Becky get everybody Whataburger for dinner. Everyone is peacefully sitting at the dining table that night, not knowing that this was to be the calm before the big storm. 8 p.m. While the rest of the family was watching a movie, Grandma Elizabeth and I were watching a Statler Christmas special. 8 p.m. As the family watches another movie, JR and Christine go into the kitchen to get some fudge. 9:25 p.m. JR and Christine are having fudge and cinnamon toast. Betsy and Elizabeth are upstairs asleep, as Jim and Claude are downstairs watching some comedy. December 24th, 1994, 4 p.m. Grandma Mary arrived with Carl's family, Donna, Jessica, and Cousin Max. "I can't wait to get down to dinner," Jared said. "Of course, Fatty," Jessica said. "Oh, shut up," Jared said. "Don't be so hard on her," Christine said. "Don't bother defending her, Chris," Max said. "Dad's always gotten on to her for that." 6 p.m. After dinner, the family trudges over to Gainesville Assemblies of Christ for the evening service in full swing. And Reverend David Fox delivers a beautiful message on the birth of Jesus Christ. Everyone was partaking of communion, which was matzah bread and grape juice. 8 p.m. Coming back from church, I could tell Grandma Elizabeth was really sick. Writhing in pain on the couch, she turned to me, catching her breath. "Junior, I'm dying. I got a talking watch from Mama and Daddy. A sweater from Grandma Elizabeth. And $25 and a Dell laptop from Grandma Hendrick. Carl and Donna got me a $100 Subway gift card. Christine got a stereo and a Sheryl Crow album. Kyle and Madison got some cookware, and it was Andrew's first Christmas. And he got plenty of little baby toys. George got a racing car from Mama and Daddy, among other things. Claude gave Daddy an album, The Badass, by Curtis Loeb. Loeb was a combination of blues and hard rock. That Daddy loved so much. It wasn't my favorite music. Nevertheless, Daddy had Christine's stereo installed in the movie theater for everybody to enjoy. Christmas Day, 9 a.m. As Carl and Donna round up their family to drive to Denton that Christmas morning, Elizabeth emerges from her bedroom at the base of the stairs. The family is playing Sheryl Crow as Thomas escorts her towards the movie theater. 1 p.m. Jim has started to drink some whiskey. No one really noticed because they're enjoying their Christmas presents. Jim notices his eldest son sitting very close to his grandmother in the living room as he drinks. He motions for the driver to take him to the liquor store and the driver to go in to get two more pints of whiskey. 5 p.m. The family sits down for Christmas dinner. Turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, broccoli and rice casserole, pumpkin, pecan, and chocolate pie. All the recipes from both sides of the family. Uncle Jim and Aunt Ezra show up for dinner in Jim's red 1990 Ford Escort. And after a few minutes and dinner, Ezra is talking to Jim. So Uncle Jim turns to Betsy. You better watch this, kid. Sounds like he's going off the wagon. Might be trouble. 5:30 p.m. In fact, there was trouble. Thomas and John Dustin had too much to drink, and they started to argue about how things should be going on with Mama and the family. And I could sense that something was wrong. And so I prepared my cell phone to call Brent on speed dial. 6 p.m. The Christmas party is in full swing, and I can tell that Grandma is dazed and uncomfortable. Alan Jackson, please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas, played on Christine's stereo. And I could tell many of the folk were quite tipsy. So I got out the phone and called Brent. I packed my bags. I need you to go ahead and take me to Ken's house. There's going to be some serious drinking going on and trouble tonight. I'm halfway there. I'll be there at 7, Brent said. Mama, I think it'd be nice, would be advised for me just to get the hell out of here. Why, son? This is a good Christmas party, Betsy said. You got Daddy, John, Kyle, Thomas getting drunk. I want out of here because there's going to be trouble. 7 p.m. Halfway, I jumped into the cab of Brent's truck as he pulls up into the drive after putting my luggage in the back of the truck. Peeling out, he burned the rubber outside of Gainesville to take me to Euless. 9 p.m. Brent's truck pulled up into the driveway of the Moorhead townhouse in Euless, and I knocked on the door. After about 2 minutes, I ran into the door It was Ken's stepfather, William Moorhead. Now what the hell happened? He asked. Brent spoke up. His dad's drunk. That means nothing good's gonna happen. Bill, who's at the door? Ken asked. Hendrick sings to the upstairs den, Mr. Moorhead said, obviously perturbed. Yeah, what the hell happened? Ken asked. I hate him. I hate my father. The way he let my mind about that brainless imbecile. All that said, I want to have no party with Kyle's daddy. No part with Kyle's daddy. Nothing but trouble. I'm staying with you until Thursday. And then I'm going back to Midland, Odessa. 11:30 p.m. The den in the mansion in Gainesville is a serious wreck near the Christmas tree, and Betsy is crying uncontrollably after kicking Jim, Thomas, and John out. Claude leaves as well. She is saddened that JR had to leave. Well, Elizabeth gave her a piece of advice. Well, hell, can you blame him? Everybody was drinking a lot. Crazy. I leave too, but I have no place to go. You had to put up with all this crap with your daddy all over. Now, I can't believe you're going to put up with it again. Hope you enjoy listening to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the adventure. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying until next time, get ready for the rest of the story. It's going to get more interesting from here.